What's up guys, Timmy's Firearms back at it again, and we're talking about my EDC setup. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to one of my videos again. Everybody who's watching originally, I kind of took a little bit of a break, focused on work a little bit, got a promotion. That means more money, that means more guns. Nonetheless, just want to go over everything with you guys so you know day to day what I have on me and maybe use that to help build out your own EDC. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and we'll jump right in. First things first, I always have some type of knife on me at all times. This is a Kershaw 1670 OLBLK. I got this for Christmas years ago. It's open assisted, super sharp. It's a Kershaw, so it's good quality. It's got the grip texture. It's almost like rubber grip tape, or like what you'd see at the bottom of a bathtub to keep your feet from slipping. But I love this for a couple different reasons. Number one, it's sharp, it stays sharp, it's good quality metal. It's not that cheap pot metal crap that burrs over, it gets super dull very easily. I've had to sharpen this knife 2 times, and I've had it for like 5 years. The second reason I love it so much is because this material, if you get wet or bloody, you'll still be able to grip this. So I cut open my thumb really badly with this knife like a year and a half ago, and you can still hold on to it because the texture, even if it's wet, is still very usable. So I love that. If you're bloody, if your hands are wet, I can still reach back and deploy this and use it as needed. You know, they say a man without a knife is a man without a life. So I tuck this face down in my back right pocket. That way, if I need to, I can pull it out and, you know, get to work. Whatever's necessary. 99% of the time, I use this for opening boxes. Next thing I always have with me, my cross. I got this for Christmas about 3 months ago, and since then I've worn it pretty much every single day, at least every time I leave the house for sure. The chain is very nice, it's good quality. It doesn't make my neck green, which I love. And it's just big enough to where it doesn't stick out of my shirt, but it's not too big, so I just tuck it here. Shout out my mom. Next thing, this is a chain link bracelet that Emily, my girlfriend, bought for me for Christmas. And I wear this wherever I go. This is always on my wrist, pretty much no matter what. I love it. I fidget with it whenever I'm bored. It's a nice bracelet. I got it a couple years ago. It's good quality, and I like wearing it. It's cool. Next up, AirPods. These are the Pros, the first gen Pros. You can see they're kind of destroyed. I've had these for years. I got these, oh God, 2021, 2022, and I've used them ever since. They're AirPod Pros. They're kind of crackly. They make some weird noises, but they still work. The noise cancellation works great. I wear them to the gym every single day. I used to have some Beats headphones. I don't know where they went. Emily lost them. You got to blame them on her. If you want to plug them in, tune out for like a long drive. If you want to, of course, when you're working out, when I'm filing paperwork, I plug one in, I listen to podcasts, and I listen to music, and these are just nice to have. It's always nice to have AirPods. Next thing is going to be the wallet. This is a Coach wallet. My girlfriend bought it for me for this Christmas. I downsized from a big leather wallet to one of these. It's really thin, and I rock it in my front pocket, so I don't sit on it all day. It's actually really nice. It's good quality. And there's got a money clip on the back. I've got $100 in there right now. I almost never carry cash, which I probably should, but I sold some paintball gear recently, so I do have some cash with me right now. I've got a couple debit and credit cards. In the next pocket, I've got my concealed pistol license, my driver's license, and my Costco card. All right, the part you've all been waiting for, what I carry for my EDC Firearms Edition. So, a couple things have changed recently with this. I've changed my holster setup, I've changed my gun setup, and I've changed what I consistently wear. A couple reasons for that. Number one, I got promoted at work, so my job is a little bit different in what it entails. So I'm dressing differently, and in dressing differently, I have to modify my EDC setup to kind of fit around that. But like I said before, if I'm wearing a long sleeve like a sweater, or if I'm wearing a quarter zip, then I'll wear appendix. I prefer to carry appendix almost always. I think it's faster, I think it's more comfortable, and I think it's easier to conceal. But again, it's multifaceted. So if I'm carrying appendix and I have a jacket that zips down the middle and I open my jacket, well, guess what? My gun's sticking out, not ideal. So what I've started to do, anytime I have a jacket on that zips down the middle, I carry a 4 o'clock position, and I've made 2 modifications. Number one, I took off the magazine side cart for my holster. This is the Vetter Holsters side tuck or light tuck. I'll put a link to that down in the description, not affiliated. I just like it. I took that part off because it's a lot of bulk, number one. And number two, when I'm at work, I probably won't need an extra mag. I get 10 rounds in the magazine of this one because I live in Washington, which is not ideal, but it should be enough for any, let's call it altercation that happens that is gun related for me, hopefully. I still have Winchester 9mm hollow points. Nothing's probably gonna change about those. But when I pull it over to the 4 o'clock position, that extra mag sticking out of the side, it makes it really, really hard to, number one, conceal it, but number two, it makes it really uncomfortable, especially if I'm sitting down, which I do a lot of at my job. So I'm not running this as much. I still put this on, and it's just 2 screws, so it's easy. I attach it when I'm going out into public, going to like the mall, if I'm going to events where there's a lot of people, and there's a higher risk for like mass shootings, for example. Some idiot wants to walk in with a gun and start mowing people down. I think in that scenario, it's probably a little smarter to have a few extra rounds, especially since I can only carry 10 per magazine in Washington. So in that case, I carry 2 magazines. But for work and just standard kind of everyday setup, which is what the video is about, I mostly just carry 1 magazine in the gun, so 10 rounds total. The other thing I noticed when carrying in the 4 o'clock position was that I needed to slightly cant the gun forward so that when I reached for it, it was a little bit at a better of an angle. Rather than leaning back, it's a little harder to get my hand back there and grab it. So just for a smooth, kind of quicker setup, I started canting the gun. So I would remove the bottom screw here, angle it slightly, that way it sits on my belt like this, and then there's enough room for me to grab it with my hand and then deploy it if needed. And by the way, just don't think it's weird. The gun is clear and safe. So that's what I did. I removed one of the screws down here. That way I could rotate this clip. I'm still running a wedge on the back, and what that does is it's at an angle, as you can see here. So it pushes the gun towards my body, which means it won't stick out to the side or forward if I'm carrying an appendix. It keeps it kind of sucked up against me, which is always nice for concealment purposes. The last modification I made really to my EDC was I removed the red dot. I still carry the SIG 365X. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I might throw in a couple other things for variety purposes, but really, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I love this gun. The grip texture is great. It's awesome to shoot. I took off the red dot because what I was telling you about before, when canting the gun, it goes forward, but the red dot would hit my belt. So I would have it here and it would run into my belt. And therefore I couldn't tilt it forward as much as I wanted to in order to get a comfortable grip on the gun in order to deploy it. So I took the red dot off, which I think will be fine. I'm still very capable of putting 10 rounds into a fist size on a target at about 7 yards. So it's not overly difficult in order to make that happen. It is a little harder than running a red dot, but again, you're doing a risk-benefit analysis the entire time you're carrying. I'm losing a little bit of target acquisition by not having a red dot, but I'm gaining comfortability and concealment, which is, for me, very, very important, especially, again, like what I wear in the job I have. And it's been working fine so far, especially with this gun. It's got those bright green night sights that you can see right here. There you go. So God forbid if I'm walking to my car after I get off work and some homeless guy wants to jump out from behind the building and stab me with a meth needle, I will have those night sights to make that happen. I don't carry a flashlight on my gun because I think it's unnecessary. It's extra bulk. It's harder to conceal. And realistically, if you deploy your gun in a life or death EDC scenario, you're probably not going to deploy the flashlight. I'm just going to be honest. Statistics show that even if you have one, you're very unlikely to use it. And if I need to, I can always deploy like a flashlight on my phone for like long-term stuff. A flashlight on my gun itself is probably never going to be used, and most people don't use them for self-defense EDC purposes. Now, if I was a law enforcement officer, security officer, something like that, obviously that makes a little more sense, especially even to have like an independent flashlight. It would make a lot more sense, but for me, just part of my life, it never entails the need for that. Also, total side tangent, but Emily got me a flamethrower for Christmas. So that's kind of cool, huh? I better turn that down before the smoke alarm goes off. That's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like and a comment before you go. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. I look forward to talking to you soon.